Yo, what is up, guys? You got Illusion here, coming at you with the Week 4 PRs for Hive BJO. And join with me are the usual suspects. Why don't you guys introduce yourself?
Yo, what's up? This is John W., also known as getting targeted by some MPO commissioners.
Yo, what is up, guys? This is Lil John Flames, aka Top Tier Goon, here, ready for Hive
Also
Power
known
Rankings.
as bad.
Alright,
Shut up.
so ignore John W being gay and LeJohn being a fraud. And let's get into our first entry. We have at number 17, Hiker Trash.
Hiker Toad. Hiker Trash goes to the Boston Bulldogs. So let's just get on to this real quick. What do we like about Hiker's game? Nothing
Literally
much.
nothing.
He
Literally
played
nothing.
pretty shit. Got outplayed every turn. So, that's about all he did good. So now we're gonna get into what we didn't like about Hiker. He had some shitty ass commentary during his Devoncom. He lost to me, of course, my first dub. He lost to a fucking Audino that couldn't touch 10 out of like every mod on his fucking team. It fucking 1v1 to Sneasel somehow off. So like fucking Hiker, man, he's sad. So LeJohn, you got any comments?
Let me tell you about this match. Hiker playing John was a sin against anyone who had to watch that. I was in cold listening to Hiker's horrible commentary of him trying to explain why he is losing to an Audino set with no stab moves that can't touch a Sneasel. Oh, the fact that I had to watch this in itself put Hiker number 17 on this list. And not only that, he lost to John W. of all people with a Mega Audino. I mean, how do you even do this? Only Hiker chose, man. Like,
dude. And the play that literally defined the game is when his Finny was in on the men's and I fucking click Hydro Pump it. It fucking works out. Like, fucking gets stunted on. Like, the man is so
like
shit.
Hiker's losing to these whack-ass plays. Like, I just can't comprehend it. Hiker, I have never been more disappointed in you. Ever. I hope you can come back in this week, but not really.
Allow me to list my own grievances with this game. One, Hiker Trash lost to John W. John W's first win, so we have to put John W. not last. That's a sin against mankind. Two, he had a Sneasel that lost to Mono Ice Beam Audino. And three, he actually hacked in that game, and he still got destroyed.
Dude, yeah, I missed like 5 Stone Edges and the boys, like, it didn't matter, but like, nigga, what? Like,
no. Not only that, he got a fireball. I mean, you like got like 1 burn or something, and this dude bitched like all after chat like that actually
mattered. Even matter.
He should have won like 20 turns ago. Sitting here bitching about a fire blast burn. Get up out,
dude. And also, he had another bad Sneasel set. Like that's like second game this season. He fucking had his shitty Sneasel set. Like it was like taunt ice shard knockoff pursuit. Like it was the most weird exchange I've ever seen. So first off, the Audino can't touch the Sneasel, and then the Sneasel can't touch the Audino.
It was like. And the game was like 2 hours or some ridiculous bullshit like that.
Yeah, and I was doing my commentary in MPO and people actually enjoyed it, unlike Hiker's dumbass fucking having some shitty ass commentary.
No. Not to mention that Hiker took like 20 minutes per turn. It doesn't take that long to think of how to sack your team to an Audino. Okay? Next time do it faster. God. The fact that I had to watch this, just disgraceful.
Yeah, so that's why Hiker is not even allowed in the top 16 when there are 16 Hive teams, because that game was so terrible. Easily worse than Ace versus John W, which was a travesty. It was just bad.
Hiker, you are officially an unteam now.
No, an unplayer. Are you kidding me? An unplayer who hacked, stunted on by the worst team in the league with the fucking Mega Audino that couldn't touch his main threats.
I better see
I think
we've
gotten our point.
I better see Sneasel 6-0ing every week if you want to get up on this list to even like number 6. All right. And,
yeah. So at number 6.
Let's move on to number 16.
You want to do it? Yeah.
We got Mega Audino, the Hiker.
So at number 16, we got Mega Audino, also known as, and its nickname is the Hiker. So what did we like about the Mega Audino? It had Ice Beam and knockoff. It beat everything, and fuck yes. That's about it.
Dude, this
And do you want to know what we didn't like? The fact that you ran a set that took 30 turns to kill things. It took 30 turns to kill a Sneasel because you decided you were too good to run stab on your Mega Ardino. Oh, who needs fairy stab? We can just be walled by every by every steel and ice type in the game. It couldn't even hit a dark type because you ran knockoff. Oh, how ever so useful.
Yeah, and the only thing, as Lil John stated, the only thing we didn't really like is that it didn't beat Hiker fast enough. Like, it was honestly, like, just painful for Hiker to go through the suffering that Audino gave him.
No,
Like, I don't
nobody
know.
cares about Hiker. It's painful for me to go through the suffering of watching Hiker inability to kill an Audino. Not to mention that Audino was walled by 10 out of the 12 members of this man's team. Okay? This set was not good, but it was better than Hiker.
Look, I just want to say one thing. There's only one reason that Mega Audino is on this list. Is because it was barely better than Hiker. This is the worst Audino set I've seen in my entire life. Yet it still, put its dick in Hiker's ass. You see that thick ass? It sat on Hiker's face and took a shit right on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hiker's still better than John W. So let's get on to number 15.
Let's get on to the real teams. Number 15, we got Jacksonville Jealous, coached by Alex. So, Alex, he still hasn't won a game, but he's been playing pretty well. His early game has been probably one of the strongest in league, if I do say so myself. It's just at the end game and mid game, his prep, it shows the flaws that it has. I don't know, his prep just isn't as good as everyone else's, which really hinders his ability to play. Because we all know Alex is a pretty solid player when it just comes to battling, but the prep is just so important. And if you don't have a good prep, you're going into the match with such a handicap. Illusion, any thoughts?
Yeah, I just Alex, he's been having the same problem he's had every week. He plays the early game good, and then some misstep in his prep shows itself, and he just loses the game. And this one was he really had nothing for a speed boosted Heracross. And one of the things I really didn't like was he had a Slowbro versus Gliscor, and he set up on the Gliscor after it agility'd, even though logically it's probably gonna baton pass or something. I would have attacked there and got try to get some damage on something, but he set up and it kind of costed him. Alex may have won this game.
And also there was a couple instances in this game where if a couple things didn't go Turk's way, for example the 5 pin missiles on Mega Slowbro, then Alex could have easily been in a commanding position. But it's Mons at this point. You gotta play around.
I accidentally muted myself, but didn't we ban Speed Pass?
No, not. I think
no, not in Hive.
Not in Hive.
We didn't?
No, because Owen got round 1 Scolipede.
Oh, well, I guess we didn't. Goddamn.
Turk, Alex, he can easily bounce back. It's only week 4. You have 6 weeks to get out of relegation because at this point, it's not likely for him to make playoffs as he has to basically win out from now. Which in the
what do you mean? Alex can make playoffs. Do not sleep on my boy Alex.
Yeah, he can, but it's not likely. But so Alex, he has to really get out of relegation and push for playoffs next season. But I'd say getting out of relegation is his biggest worry at the moment.
It's bad when John W's telling you it's not likely you're going to make playoffs.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh yeah,
I really
like. Kidding me?
Oh, you can speak. But yeah, honestly, I really like Alex and the way he plays. In the early game, he played extremely well around the Rotom Heat, pulling a lot of doubles that worked out for him, and he's scouting very well. And he also killed Kyurem Black early, which is usually the biggest threat to anybody's team. And honestly, had he Heracross gotten 4 or even 3 pin missile hits on Slowbro rather than 5, he would have been in a good position because he would have killed the Heracross and he wouldn't have had to sack 4 Mons and would have had a good good Mons left.
Better to be lucky than good.
Yeah, better to be lucky than good. And no one is luckier than Turk except for a certain amount of people. But yeah, you guys have any closing thoughts? No, so let's get on to number 14.
I think we're good to move on.
We got number 14, coach of the Taco Bell Sprout, John Mega Godino W.
Oh
Yeah.
no, John, you thought I was gonna let you off the hook, didn't you? What? You thought just
him.
because you happened to be the unfortunate person to win this game that you're off the hook? Oh no, you're just as bad as Hiker, if not
What the
worse.
fuck do you
Because
mean?
you are the one who brought this Adino set. You are the one who orchestrated this atrocity of a game. You and Hiker both taking
Lejon,
80
please.
hours per turn,
Please.
bringing an Adino set that can't touch Ferrothorn, Sneasel, Skuntank, Feeny, or Mega Manectric. It can't touch any of those moms, but you brought it just to hit Lando. Oh,
Yeah.
and it was
No.
ever so
Let
worth
me
it.
explain. Who needs coverage when he fucking stunned on the nigga every turn? Like, there was not a single turn where he didn't get fucking stunted on. Like, you can't.
Why does it take you 80 turns to stunt?
Hiker, you
Because
see
I'm
why
making
we
real
put you
nigga
at number
plays.
17? This guy's ego is uncontrollable now that he's won a game. You've done this.
Hell
to
yeah,
him.
Yeah.
we're on the climb. You can't stop me. We are making playoffs.
Look, let's say the
I mean,
things
yeah.
we liked about this game, which were very few, but still a good amount because he played Hiker. He actually used Mega Adino effectively, which is surprising considering it was the worst Adino set I've ever seen in my entire life, and it still somehow soloed Hiker's entire team. And
the only thing I'm grateful about this game is the fact that he burnt that Skuntank so it could end about 30 turns earlier than it would have.
That is true. Dude, and also, I went into this game with, like, no EV Aerodactyl and a fucking messed up ability Audino, and I missed, like, 4 Stone Edges, and I still won. Like, come on, you can't tell me that my Audino set didn't fucking carry.
John, you did not win this game. Hiker lost this game.
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
Fuck you.
Let's get that.
I will only commend you for one thing, and that was you did some stunt plays with Salamence.
That was pretty flex, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you did some Flex Element plays. That's all I'll give you.
Yeah, you flex a little bit, but other than
So
that,
yeah,
it's a
ready
terrible
to
game.
move on?
I just want to. I have some closing thoughts. It really pains me to put John W above Alex because Alex is clearly the better player.
Aw,
But somehow
please.
John W has clawed his way because Hiker, he had a brain seizure and he was in the hospital and he had to play while in a coma. So that's why John W is number 14. Any closing thoughts?
Hey, next week expect number like 1 or some shit. I'm predicting number 1.
There's no way. All right, let's get on to number 13. We have Ace, coach of the Anaheim Altarias. So
yeah, Ace ended up playing Genius this week, and
no,
overall this was a pretty
he played LeJon. He played LeJon.
Oh yeah, he played LeJon. Yeah. Genius was last week. So so Genius played LeJon this week. So Ace.
No, Ace played LeJon. You head ass.
All right, John W can't say any more words for this entire slide.
You retarded, but okay, let's move on.
So all right. I just want
he played LeJon. I said fucking LeJon, so fuck you. But yeah, so he played LeJon, and it was a pretty commanding game on LeJon. But Ace did a pretty good job bringing the differential down, is what I would say, and just playing a pretty solid game. Made some decent plays, but the one play that was pretty stunt, it was pretty flex on LeJon's end, was a flare blitz on the Volcanion double into something else that was pretty cash. So yeah, it was a pretty nice game to watch. Definitely better than some of the other games we got to see this season, but yeah.
It's also fair to note that 8, because he johned so hard, he didn't prep until like the already next week, so he didn't know that not Adina.
Hello?
He didn't know that Lantern would beat my team. That's not me.
Are you sure? Turn that shit off.
Yeah, dude.
With John.
Nigga, that's not me.
10 minutes.
That's LeJon.
No, it isn't. It's Illusion.
It's LeJon.
Okay, John, shut up. We're talking about Ace. And the point is, Ace didn't prep for a Lantern because he decided... What?
Just wait, listen. Just wait like 30
Oh, did he pause the video?
No, he I don't think he muted himself.
I had to take an important call. I just want to make some thoughts on this game. Honestly, watching this game...
Wait, so we're unmuted now?
Yes, he's unmuted, you dumbass.
Yes.
Wait, so are we unpaused?
Oh my god.
Dude, the recording isn't paused, boys. We're doing it live.
Yeah, this is a live recording.
Yeah.
Like,
we're not cutting this part out.
Okay. back to what I was talking about. Ace didn't prep for the fucking lantern, and he paid for it with his life because I took this man's soul, of course, because that's just how we do it here.
Yeah, one thing I will say is that it looked
You're
like
still shit.
Scarf Darmanitan was always gonna win the game because his counter was Scarf Volcanion, which isn't really a counter anyways. If you just Rock Slide on the Switch, it wasn't Scarf. I thought it was Scarf. No, but yeah, Ace didn't prep well for the Darmanitan. He didn't prep well for the Lantern. It's commendable that he brought it down to 2-0 just from how dominating LeJohn's team was versus Ace. So we'll clap it up for him. Yeah, but it was pretty convincing win on LeJohn's part. You guys ready to move on?
Yeah, I'm ready to move on. So next up, we got at number 12, we have Greg, coach of the LA Zy Dodgers. So Greg suffered another loss this week, which is a little bit unfortunate because obviously Greg had a very dominating week 1 and he hasn't won a game since. But don't count out Greg just yet, as he still has a long way to go before his season's over. So he played Techno this week, and honestly, this is not a good showing. It was probably like one of the worst games this week. Sorry, Greg.
Definitely not a good game.
It's the truth. But
we're not
Greg.
Sorry, Greg. You should be sorry because you got body bagged.
Yeah,
you
why
got
is John W talking about how bad this game was? I'll talk about how bad this game was.
Yeah, so Greg ended up forfeiting mid-game because he wasn't in it or whatever. But yeah, let's just talk about what happened in the game.
Techno only had to bring in 3 mons the whole game.
Okay,
that is how bad it is.
We get it. He got tossed.
This was a very let me just talk about it a little bit. This was a very brutal game for Greg. A fall from grace from where he started week 1 at number 1. But it was just like a very painful game to watch, and I'm sure it was a very painful game to play. He didn't have momentum at all. There was like no point at any point in the entire game where he had control. It was just like it looked like he was losing turn 1. It sucks.
Yeah, watching this game, he only did one thing pretty good, and that was getting rid of hazards when Tech tried to hazard stack him. But there was a lot of negatives about the game in which Techno put a lot of hazards on his side, and he didn't really defog them until mid-game. So it made it really annoying for him to switch around Techno's biggest threats. And yeah, he couldn't really find a way to get momentum in that match and just let Pidgeot come in and just fucking claim some souls.
Definitely. We'll knock Greg for forfeiting mid-game, but honestly, the forfeit didn't matter. He was losing that game no matter what. And we could all tell. And Greg could tell, which is why he forfeited. Do you guys have any closing thoughts?
Yeah. No, I think we're good to move on. So, LeJohn, you want to move to number 11?
Okay, and at number 11, we got Techno, coach of the worst Carolina team, the Carolina Pantherian. And he's the person who beat Greg, and he won pretty convincingly. He just destroyed this man. He showed him no mercy. He got up his hazards. He never let up the pressure, and he won the game. Sub 1 Heatran was a very nice wing. It got a momentum, when Greg would have to switch, he could sub up on the switch, which is always useful. And Mega Pidgeot, it was useful as usual, always hitting Heatran, which is always a plus. And he had the nice HP fighting tech for Tyranitar, which is also nice. So, overall, Tech played a solid game, and there's nothing really wrong with it.
Yeah, so Techno ended up playing Greg, and it was a pretty so it was my good pal LeJohn covered. It was a pretty it was a very strong game on Techno's part. It's probably the most commanding game of this week, in my opinion, as Techno just brought a very effective team versus Greg and really didn't give him any opportunities to get momentum, which really solidified Techno's win.
Yeah, the only reason Techno isn't higher is because Greg was lower, and beating a lower ranked team moves you up less than beating a higher ranked team. But if Techno keeps performing like this, he's sure to rise up the rankings. This was such a dominating game, so dominating that Greg forfeited because he knew he had no chance. But yeah, very good game on
just
Techno's
the way
end.
he played, getting the momentum, hazard stacking, bringing Mega Pidgeot in, just so many good things going for him this week. And hopefully he can take this momentum and carry it on to week 5. So
Definitely.
You guys ready to move on?
Yeah, let's go on to number 10. We have the coach of the San Francisco Star Raptors, a.k.a. Genius. And why don't you guys talk a little bit about Genius?
Yeah, so Genius played Justin or Jay Slink, whichever you want to refer to. So yeah, Genius coming into this week, I think he was 2-1. So he comes in as the favorite in my opinion because of his draft, and we all know how effective Genius can use teams and how he is in the format. So Genius ended up playing Justin. Yeah. So Justin brought a bunch of really cool sets that just like threw Genius off. I felt like Genius kind of like got his heart taken away mid game when that muck came out and started substituting on the Celestial and the air slash couldn't break the sub. That was very good. That was very good. And also he also missed a metal sound, I think. Didn't he miss a metal sound?
Uh, I
Yeah, I
Yes.
think he
think
missed
so.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm
he
pretty
missed
sure
the
he did.
metal. Yeah, so that's really annoying because then he couldn't break muck sub. So Celestial essentially was rendered useless in that match. And also the game, it was pretty after that point Genius couldn't find any way to get back into this game. Like it was a slow, painful finish for him. So you guys got anything to say?
Well, Genius wasted his Z move early like a scrub, and then it couldn't beat Muck because of it. So, that happened. And Genius didn't play as well as he typically plays. I mean, he didn't play bad by any means, but, Genius typically plays a lot better than most people. So it was surprising to see him not playing so well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean,
Genius kind of got his wig snatched by his opponent, Jay Slink. That muck really tore him a new one. Got behind a sub, started cursing up, and really took him to town. His Zard, he usually uses Zard pretty well, at least nominally well, but it really didn't do much this game. And he didn't bring much for Milotic either. I couldn't see a way on his team for him to really kill Milotic. So
yeah,
that's a
I
no.
agree with that. Like it was a pretty I felt like he brought a pretty passive team, but like yeah, that's about it with Genius. I didn't really.
The
It was a
following when a
pretty
team with a Landorus, Eye, a Terrakion, and a Zard X is called passive.
yeah. I don't know how, but he brought a pretty passive team, and also was a really commanding win for Boston. Like I was watching this replay, I didn't realize how commanding this game was. But yeah, another commanding game in Beat Drill. So
Yeah.
far, a lot of body bags happened in a
Yeah.
couple whack ass games,
Very
but
impressive on Jason's
overall,
part
just
too. I think it's like a return to form after
yeah,
he took like 2 L's, I think, in a row.
yeah. And also, you guys can all agree with me, but do you guys think that this week is like one of the weeks of upsets? Like in Beat Drill, there's not like one coach who's significantly worse, but I felt like a lot of the favorites didn't really
Well,
shine
I
through in
thought
this match.
John W was worse than everybody until I saw Hiker, so now I'm just not sure
Yeah,
what
so
to
definitely
think.
the week of opposites. But yeah, I get what John W saying. I definitely agree. This was like a lot of upsets this week.
Yeah, it was like a lot of upsets with commanding wins. So a very commanding week thus far. So hopefully we can see some closer games as we move on to the top 9. So number 9, we got Turk, coach of the. Well, John, you spelled Toronto Luxrays wrong. Oh
The
my
No,
gosh!
the
Tornado
But
fuck I
Luxray.
didn't. No, I didn't do
Toronto,
this
no.
slide.
Turk is from Tornado, okay?
but John, not this.
I didn't do
It's
this
like
slide. I
This
swear.
it's like
this
right
this
Noto
was
period. Oh my god. Well,
No,
John,
dude, I didn't do this slide. I always period at the end of my sentences.
this
well,
was my slide, I
John.
think. No, wait, this
Okay, you got.
this was definitely John W because I don't say the word bad. But let's just get into it. What we liked about Turk had a lot of things going well for him. First, like one of the things I think we all liked was how he baton passed in the Heracross and really took Alex into town. I mean, he got lucky with the pin missiles, but it still killed Mega Slowbro, and then it still bodied Alex's team. And he played really aggressive with his Azumarill, which really brought him back when Alex was commanding the early game. And Heracross and Azu, just the way he played those and like the way he passed in the Heracross together, brought him back after Alex pretty much had command of the early game. And why don't you guys talk about what we didn't like about Turk?
Well, John, that you want to do that?
Well, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot I didn't like about Turk. Turk played a pretty solid game. I mean, I didn't like how he played with Persian. I think he sacked it earlier and it didn't really do much. And the fact that, he was he risked a few things on Slowbro I don't think he should have. Where if things had worked out slightly differently, Turk would have been for the fuck.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
things worked out for him. And
okay, so let me tell you guys what I think. So yeah, so Turk ended up getting 5 hits with that pin missile. Like, that was like one of the defining turns in the game because if Turk got 2 hits, Alex would have been in such a good position. So like yeah, so that's definitely a huge turn because he can't control that though. So he still can't control it, so it's not on him. And he still played a pretty fabulous game as he started off the season 0-2, I believe, and is really bouncing back as he picks up another dub. So really carrying some momentum into week 5 as he is 2-2 now and potentially looking for a playoff spot. So if he can win next week,
his hair across to get outsped by a scarf Toros.
Yeah, and also props to Turk because everyone thought he was a relegation favorite, but he's really proving that he isn't as he's 2-2, and if he can win next week, he can really push himself out of the relegation race.
Yeah, one thing I
So
don't
any
like,
final
but
thoughts?
I can understand why, is he brought Pin Missile over Megahorn. Megahorn would have definitely killed the Slowbro, and but he brought Pin Missile and had to rely completely on luck to carry him through. It worked out, but it may not have. But Pokemon is a game of luck, and if you have it, you win. But Turk is definitely
Also, Turk, if you're watching this, I apologize for LeJohn's spelling errors once
Oh
again.
my gosh,
We will
this was-
hopefully
That was,
fix that
I
next
did
week.
not do the
LeJohn
slide.
cannot spell.
You did.
LeJohn, don't talk. You can't spell. Go back to fucking kindergarten.
Oh
But yeah,
my
let us
gosh.
move on.
Yeah,
We
wait, I
got
just want to
Illusion.
say
You
one
wanna
more
go to the
thing.
next person?
If Turk plays a little bit more well, I can definitely see him in the top half of the power rankings. So let's get on to the GOAT at number 8, Illusion. So since this is me, I'll talk about it a little bit. So the things I liked about what I did in the game was I brought the game closer than I thought I would, and the game really came down to whether I hit Gunk Shot or not. I think Gunk Shot on Kangaskhan was a roll, but if I hit it and got the roll and then hit Bulu with the Gunk Shot, I won. So not really in my favor overall, but still, I think it was like around a 50-50 chance.
Something could have happened. You could have crit. You could have gotten a high roll, and it's
But I missed,
literally
yeah.
anything could have happened. But yeah, you missed, which is really unfortunate, as that really just solidified II's win this week and putting him at 4-0, I believe. So yeah, honestly, a pretty interesting game because II ended up bringing the Electrode, which I didn't really see anything on your team that could necessarily beat it.
Dude, Electrode
So,
bodied
yeah.
my team.
Yeah, you severely under prep for it, which was a fatal mistake. But it's hindsight's 2020. We all make mistakes. So yeah, and also I think you dodged a Stone Edge on one of II's mons. So
Yeah,
that
the
really
trio
put-
dodged a Stone Edge, which I would have died to, and then I got some Sludge Wave damage off.
Yeah, for sure. So LeJohn, you want to talk?
This game, I think both people actually played somewhat well. I don't think Illusion played well around Necrozma, but Necrozma's hard to play well around because fuck that thing.
Yeah,
And,
this was probably the closest game this week. As a lot of body bags happened in previous games. So yeah, nice to see a close game.
Yeah, so
yeah,
actually, I just want to talk about.
things could have went differently from Illusion if he hit the gunk shot, but it is what it is.
For sure. So Illusion, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to talk about some certain aspects of the game. Like Halucha was such a big threat, and I'm glad I faded out the Tailwind and made it so Halucha didn't do much. I'm also glad that I was able to use Whimsicott to grab momentum. Whimsicott was one of the main reasons I was able to stay in the game for as long as I did and bring it to just gunk shot hitting. But the main reason I lost this game was Electrode outsped my entire team, even Scarf Toothpa it outsped, and O-code almost everything except for like Whimsicott and Zapdos, and then it got a Toxic off on both of those, which really hurt a lot. So definitely a tough game. II is always a tough opponent. That's why he's number 1. But I'm still the better member of Trick of Eye. Don't you guys forget it. And let's get on to number 7. We got Coach of the Leinster, Latias.
Oh,
Owen.
yeah. So we got Owen finally making a top 7 list. Shoutouts to our boy Turbo. So yeah, at number 7, we got
No,
Owen,
not
Coach
like
of the
this.
Leinster Latias. So Owen ended up playing Rob Jr., I believe, and giving Rob his first loss of the season, which was wait, didn't he play Rob this week?
Turk beat Rob
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, so he played Rob, and he ended up getting a bit hacked with the head smash miss on the G.O.A.T. But I mean, it's head smash. It's literally 80% accuracy, so it's not the most
Wait,
reliable.
didn't he lose this game?
But yeah, Owen really. What?
Didn't he lose this game?
What'd you say?
Didn't he lose this game?
What? Yeah, Owen lost.
What did he?
Yeah. So
I thought you said he
So
beat
Owen
Rob.
played Rob, and he did a really good job getting his reflect and light screen up with Meowstic. A pretty surprising bring, as you don't see that mon too often, and it honestly just put his offensive threats in Tyrantrum and Mega Arrow in such and Skolip. It's such a nice position to really set up and do some.
The thing I don't like about Owen's team is the fact that he keeps bringing really passive teams. So it's like hard for him to not get hatched when he brings a team that literally has to sit there for like 80 turns before you can actually kill stuff.
Yeah, so
So,
like,
I feel bad for him and getting hatched and stuff, but like, you gotta bring more offense so you don't give him time to do it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
one thing we also have to note is that most of his offense, like their power moves, are moves that miss a lot. Like Mega Horn on Scolipede, Head Smash on Tyrantrum. Those are moves that miss a lot. Which his team's kind of vulnerable to getting hacks. It's unfortunate, but when Owen doesn't get hacks, he can do very well. But when he does, it's hard to play around hacks, especially tilt. But I thought Owen brought a decent team. He managed to bring the Meowstic, and it went pretty well. But there's not much you can do. One thing I will roast Owen as a Sharpedo brother. I think he brought the Sharpedo out too early, and then it did nothing, and that was
He brought it out way too early. Like Porygon 2 is at like full health, and he decides it's time to go for GG, which was a really interesting play because I really thought if he preserved it for late game, he could have potentially put in a lot of work as Rob's team was severely weakened at that point.
Yeah, if he had it for the late game, he possibly could have reverse swept, but using Sharpedo when P2 and Hitmontop is still around is just asking to get killed.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys have any closing thoughts about Owen?
I think we can move on. John, you want to talk about the next person?
Yeah, let's move on to number 6.
Okay, the next person on our list is my good pal Jack. Oh, yes. Jack of the Sootopolis Trumpets, bouncing back as usual. Jack started off the season a bit slow, but now Jack is back in action, tossing
lost
these
this week, headass, but yeah, so John was kind of sucking Jack up. We're going to move on. So Jack ended up playing Zappy this week. And yeah, it was a really strong game on Jackson. But the one thing that really solidified Jack's loss was the burn on the Mega Scizor. Because if that Mega Scizor didn't get burned, he would have 100% won. Because as we can see at the end, he went for Bullet Punch and it didn't do enough. But if he wasn't burned, then it would have 100% killed. So yeah, really unfortunate game for Jack as he got hacked a little. But this is our defending champion, so I'm sure he'll bounce back.
It's easy to see why Lejon thought Jack won because he played a really good game and he would have won had he not been burned, which is why we didn't drop Jack that far down. I didn't think it was fair to drop him so low when he would have 100% won were it not for hacks. There's no debating about it. If he didn't get burned by Fairy Punch and Snorlax, he would have won that game, which sucks. But
yeah.
There's definitely some mistakes on his end that he could have played better. Mega Garchomp really bodied his team, did a lot of work, damaged most of his mons. I think it got rocks up too.
Yeah, I don't know why he let half his team take damage from Mega Garchomp before killing it.
Dude, I'm telling you, if Mega Garchomp is about to get a free hit off, you're in trouble. That thing hits so hard. 170 attack.
Dude, that's close to Mega Heracross attack. That's some ridiculous attack.
Yeah,
he didn't play well around Clef either. And funny thing, his Toxapex actually got Pursuit Trap, which is pretty wild. I found that pretty amusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jack, he played very well. In a game where there's justice, Jack would have won. But unfortunately, we play Pokemon and there's no justice, so he lost. You guys have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I think Jack's going to come back next week. Jack's been playing better as the season went along, and I think he's getting used to his team, so I'm ready to see Jack start bodybagging some fools. You know how it is.
Jack's a savage. He didn't look good in the first week, but he's definitely coming into, breaking in his team, and now he's running around with it and going to go wild. So let's go on to number 5. We got Justin J-Slink, coach of the Tussin Tyrannitars. And why don't you talk a little bit about this, LeJohn?
Okay. Justin, he was playing against... Who the fuck was Justin playing?
Genius.
I believe Justin was playing Genius as he brought that really cool Muck's head.
Oh yeah. Justin was playing Genius and pretty much bodybagged him with a Muck. Some things I liked about Justin was the fact that, he, other than that Muck set, he also played Milotic well, so Zardex literally couldn't do anything at any time during the game. And he just had an overall solid performance. Like this season, he's been not the most consistent player, but this game he was very consistent in his plays, and he got the job done versus a very respectable player in Genius too.
Yeah, it says something about how well Justin played the game when our only criticism is that he doesn't play his other games as well. This was well prepped, well played overall. The way that muck set was fire and it did a lot of work. Milotic, as we said under Genius's slide, Milotic put in a ton of work and was hard to kill. And he played the early and end game exceptionally well. Very impressive. A nice return to form from week 1, I think. And you have any thoughts, John?
So honestly, when watching this game, I was really surprised on how badly Genius got just beat. Like I feel like Justin just flat out prepped him, and his prep really carried him throughout the match. Like if you watch that game, he didn't really have to make any plays to really solidify his win and get good momentum. Like his prep just gave him natural good momentum. Like sometimes when you have really good prep, your prep can literally just carry you, and that's literally what happened this week. As Genius did not have many answers for Justin's cool prep again, with the Palo San really being a staple on Justin's team. Really
and this time
utilizing
Palosan actually was a good bring because Genius had Terrakion. I know we knocked him for bringing Palosan too much, but Palosan this time was an asset and not a liability.
Yeah, Palosan really clutch. It gets Roxas generated, so that's really good for it because now it can run Rocks, Toxic, Shore Up, and like Shadow Ball or Earth Power, which is pretty much all you need because Palosan is powerful enough to the point where it can break subs. So I really like that mon for Justin, as he's really showing the value that it offers for like a tier 5 mon, I think, or a tier 4 mon, one of those.
Tier 4.
Yeah, so he's bringing it a lot. So
Yeah,
really
definitely a mon
impressed with
we've
Justin.
all overlooked, and he's using it very well.
Yeah, I'm honestly pretty impressed with Justin because I haven't really heard about him until he won Summer Showdown. So yeah, Justin doing very well in Speed Drill, his first Speed Drill season, and he's looking for a playoff spot. So hopefully we can see Justin bring some flame sets again. And honestly, his prep is just fantastic thus far. So any final thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I agree. You pretty much took the
hopefully
words out
Justin
of my
can play a
mouth.
bit more consistent.
Yeah. So you guys ready to move on?
Yeah, let's go on to number 4.
All right. So at number 4, we got Pokey Beaster, also known as Zappy, coach of the Peck Buzzwole. So, LeJohn or Illusion, you want to start this guy off?
Well, first off, I'd like to start off by saying Pokebeaster is a very stupid name. But other than that, Zappy, he played pretty well this week. And even though he should have lost, he still, he had some potential this week. He played relatively decent. I mean, he got outplayed by Jack. But his Clefable put in a lot of work, and so did his Weavile. And he played well for those months. So, I'm happy. Well, even though he didn't really deserve to win, he still won, so that was deserving.
I mean, he didn't deserve to win, but the fact of the matter is, Pokebeaster brought the game very, very, very close, and he played very well. And like, were he not playing Jack, and if Jack made like a single mistake, Pokebeaster would have won naturally. But since Jack played a really good game, he had to get the burn to win, which is unfortunate. Getting some hacks on his end would have been a guaranteed loss were it not for the burn. But there are some good things to say about what he did.
So I'll talk about this game a little bit, pretty quickly actually. But so Zappy played Jack, and it was a pretty competitive game compared to some of the other games we had to witness this week. But yeah, overall it was entertaining, but the hacks at the end really just like it just messed up the game. Like I thought Jack was playing very well after getting absolutely demolished by Mega Garchomp. But Jack proving once again why he can win games at the end of the game. But yeah, hacks obviously stepped in. But Zappy can so like all of us, we can obviously like all take a couple hacksy wins here and there because like that's literally how Mons work. So not gonna bash him too much. He still played very solid. So that is why he is number.
Yeah, well, like one of the main criticisms we have is he let T-Spikes stay up the entire game, and he really felt it, the presence of T-Spikes. But overall, I think he played well. Not good enough to win the game naturally, but hacks is hacks, and even if you get it in your favor, you take it where you get it. Do you guys have any closing thoughts?
No, I think we're ready to move on.
Yeah, I think Zappy's been pretty consistent throughout the season, so I'm still expecting him, get future wins in his future weeks.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get on to number
Yep.
3, aka Rob, coach of the Gotham City Golurks. So I'll
Yeah.
talk a
So
little bit
LeJon, you want
about
to
what I
start,
liked.
Rob?
Oh,
Illusion, you can.
yeah,
Yeah,
let me
illusion.
talk a little bit about what he liked. One thing is, we all know that Owen has a very bulky team. Rob did a good job of like poisoning the majority of it and making sure that they couldn't wall everything indefinitely. And he also brought him on top, which put in a surprising amount of work for a mon a lot of people think is trash, and really, really put the pressure on Owen's physical attackers and walled them pretty well. Do you guys want to talk about what we didn't like about Rob?
Rob, he needed a bit of hats, but like the thing is, I mean, Owen's team just sort of sits there passively, so that's expected to happen. Rob did a pretty good job at getting up hazards, but he let screens sit there for a while, which could be annoying if Owen brought something that could benefit from them. I mean, he somewhat brought the Scolipede, which could benefit, but he did a good job of paralyzing that, which was nice.
Yeah, but most of all, what we didn't like is we watched your replays, Rob, and we know that your avatar changed every single turn. We know you're not just one person, but a conglomerate of people. We're onto your conspiracy. You won't fool us. You won't pull the wool over our eyes. Stay woke, my boys. Do you guys have anything else to say?
Yes,
Okay,
Rob is
so
being ghosted by Gypsy, Maddie, and all of MPO majors at the same time.
Yeah,
yeah,
You
so
know,
it's,
100%.
because
it's really weird how he can change his avatar every. But yeah, so let me talk a little bit about Rob. So obviously Rob coming in 3-0, but it's very interesting because he's gotten some hacks in all three of his games in the beginning, which easily could have made him 0-3. But he's 3-0. So yeah, really strong start for Rob. But he
Rob's
played
turn
Owen
on.
this week, and
Yo, Rob's
wait,
turn on.
he played Owen this week? I thought he played someone.
No,
No,
he
Rob's
beat
turn
Owen.
on.
No,
Wait.
he's yeah, he's 2-1.
Oh yeah,
No,
Rob's
this
two
he's
and one
three
right
and
now.
one. He's
Yeah,
three
Rob.
and one. He's three and
Yeah,
one.
so Rob's 3-1 now. My bad.
3-1, my bad.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, so yeah, so Rob played Owen this week and some hacks here and there, but honestly, I feel like Rob just played this game very strong, and I believe that if Owen didn't get hacks, Rob still would have won. Because when I was watching this game, I really felt like Rob was dominating. Like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a lot of
Owen
people
had the
can agree
bet
with
on
me.
some like Hail Mary sweeps from his like sweepers, but it wasn't looking good.
Yeah, the only thing that hacks did, in my opinion, was really just get rid of Owen's chances of coming back. So yeah, another very strong win for Rob. He is the top of our conference at the moment, so really just trying to.
No, I'm the top of our conference at the
I
moment.
mean, top of our division or whatever, like H4 or
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah,
Yeah.
Rob, good game, boy.
Speaking of
Nice
top of the
win.
conference, we got at number 2, LeJon Flames. We have the man, the myth, the scrub in the call right now. So why don't you talk about yourself, LeJon?
Okay, let me tell you about my game and how I am the best player in Beetle. Because, you see, not everybody can make the perfect
Not
predictions
according
that
to It's
LeJon
Turbo.
Flames
It's
can.
Turbo puts you at like number 7. I
Shut
think.
the fuck up about It's Turbo.
Dude, you weren't
Okay,
even
the
on the list. I don't
perfect
want to hear
prediction.
anything from
And
John.
do you know who wouldn't flare blitz a Volcanion with a Darmanitan that's locked into it? Techno. I mean, yeah, Techno wouldn't do that.
Dude,
Oh, number
LeJon,
one
I'm
in
not gonna
Beetle, my
lie, that was
ass. I am
kind of
the
shit.
GOAT. You
That's
have
a
never
shit
seen a
play.
player do it like
Obvious
I
play
do
of
it.
my life. You're so shit.
Get
oh,
out. You wouldn't have clicked flare blitz
okay.
I
then.
would have clicked
These
Flare
fake
Blitz. Are you kidding me?
these
I
fake
tried to
niggas
defend you.
saying they would have done
You
it, but
are
they know
fake.
they wouldn't.
You're a
The
fake,
egos are
nigga.
too strong, but I will commend LeJon. He made a big dick play, put his dick on the table, and he killed Mega Venusaur. I'm gonna be honest.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have made such a wild play, but it worked out, and he flexed on him, and that was a very fuego play. But he also did some other things very well. He brought the Lantern, and Lantern really shat on Ace's team. Lantern was crazy. Like I never really see Lantern put in too much work, but this was a game where it shined the most. And if you ever want to make an
See,
argument
let
that
me
Lantern is
explain my
good,
greatness.
watch this
I
replay.
was when I was in the draft, it was the last round, and I was looking, I was like, wait a second, I'm gonna lose to Tapu Koko. How am I gonna fix this? Oh wait, I'm gonna draft a Lantern. And then we're gonna replace it the week before we play Ace, because we know that Ace won't check the dock until the last minute after it's
Oh, got
updated.
him.
And then Ace won't prep for it. Oh, how do I do it? My deductive skills are too good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The
John
one
just
thing,
went
the
on a
one thing we have a
rant.
criticism of is like that Miss Magia set could have dumpstered him if played correctly, and if he had like HP fighting. It's just like a could have been, and it like almost put in a ton of work, but it didn't. But LeJon played a really solid game. Really dumpstered Ace pretty
Yeah,
convincingly.
I think we can move on because LeJohn's going to be main. So you
Yeah,
guys
but
want to move on to
good
number
game
one?
from LeJon. He's really showing his power, even though his ego is getting out of control. Let's get on to.
Yeah, we gotta.
we
Shut
gotta
the
go on to
fuck up.
number one.
His ego is too high, even though he's hot garbage. He's obviously worthy. So let us move on.
We got the
to
only
number one. We
undefeated
got
team.
yeah, the only undefeated team left after week 4. Coach of the Connecticut Cobalions. What we liked about this game, he played Illusion, of course. I think Illusion missed the gunk shot at the end. But
yeah,
it's honestly
so
fine.
it was like justice hacks. I'm not too mad about it. I dodged a stone edge, he dodged a gunk shot. It was pretty much justice. But
yeah, so getting some payback for the MPO Miners week 1 with a very interesting Electrode bring, which just nailed Illusion. Like he got some.
That is the first time I've ever seen an Electrode do anything ever.
Dude, yeah. Let me just talk about this game since I was in it. That Electrode really dumpstered my entire team. I didn't realize how much it bodied me until the game actually started, and I realized I couldn't stay in with any of my offensive Pokemon. Mega Beedrill at outsped, killed with foul play. Hoopa at outsped, killed with foul play. Zapdos at toxic. Cobalion died immediately. And my last 2 Pokemon didn't match up well at all either. Dugtrio, it foul played. And my last Pokemon was Whimsicott, and it was the only one that dealt with it, kind of. And it pretty much got worn down by Toxic and Volt Switch. And me having Whimsicott and an Ea Papa Berry is the only thing that saved me from Electrode, the Electrode nightmare, really. And let me Toxic it and wear it down. But I think II really deserved to win this game. Even though he dodged the gunk shot, I had to get some hacks on my end. And I really didn't prep well for the Electrode, which you could really tell if you watch the replay. But yeah. Other things I want to note is his Mega King bodied me in the end game. Tailwind Halucha was really cool. Do you guys have any thoughts on this?
Not really. You did a good job covering the.
Yeah. I think Eyes, restoring Mega King's name after unnamed scrubs tarnished it in LD.
Yeah, like people like David think they're hot shit because they use Mega King well one game, but he's getting exposed. So yeah, good job to I bring back Mega King's name.
Dominating with the Mega King better than anyone could.
Yeah,
because,
I think I's really been supporting Mega King well with his team as well.
Yes.
Yeah. He's been doing very good.
One thing I really like is
because he's been running a lot of Tailwind and stuff, which is very useful with
one thing I really like is he likes to save like Mega King in the back as well in certain matchups, scouting out for like Rocky Helmet and stuff, and then clean in the end game, which he did versus me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's it. Do you guys have any closing thoughts for the video?
No, I think we're good to finish.
Yeah, Toad is the worst player in Beedrill, and he needs to never, ever, ever play a match again.
I just have 2 things to say.
He's been replaced with an Ardino.
I will be back next week, winning week 5. Let's see if I can pull out a strong.
No, there's no way he's winning. There's no way he's winning.
Thank you guys for watching. Any final thoughts?
Ending the video right now. John W's taking another L. He's gonna get back to 16. See you later.